Hi everyone, happy Tuesday. Reverend Sarah Grady from St. Paul's United Church checking in to see how you're doing. I don't know about where you are, but here in Cambridge it is pouring rain, and I know if you're out in the Paris area or in Oxford County, maybe if you're watching this, or somewhere else where there's farm fields, you are quite happy that it's raining. It's been much needed to get the crops further along, and so we're grateful this day for all of the seasons that we have here in Canada, and particularly this spring season and the rains that come, as well as the sun that helps to grow the food that nourishes our bodies. So I want to give a shout out today to partnerships. That's what today is all about. It's what our service on Sunday was about, talking about partnerships and sharing the load. I love the question this week in We Make the Road by Walking for the Kids, and I always offer that as a question for family conversation, whether that's with children or amongst a family who's grown or a couple. Have you ever been part of a really good team? And I am part of lots of great teams. I have been in my lifetime. I've also been part of some really not so awesome teams. I can think back to years in school when we had group projects and that one person who just didn't want to do the work and it didn't feel awesome, right? I think lots of people have had that experience, or if you've been part of a sporting team and perhaps you didn't have a good experience, or maybe you had an awesome experience. I want to hear about them. I also want to give a shout out to some teams. And I want to say first and foremost, thank you so much to the teams that I get to work with at St. Paul's. I get to work with amazing, amazing volunteers. I get to work with an amazing office staff and a music director who is wonderful. So thank you to Karen and Arlene and Erica. Thank you so much to our church board and our Reopen Task team. Thank you to our Faith Formation team, to our tech team on Sunday mornings, to our greeters and ushers, to our UCW, to our all those property people who come and make sure that the building is in good working order and who help take care of repairs around the place. Thank you to so many different partnerships. I know that I'm missing a few, and I just can't say thank you enough because I get to work in a pretty wonderful place with some pretty wonderful people, whether they are in paid accountable positions or volunteers. And I want to say another huge shout out and thank you to an amazing team that I've been working with for the last few months, and that is my United Ministers team. We have been doing this book study together for almost a year. It's kind of crazy. It's coming up in August that we have been fully immersed in this book, We Make the Road by Walking, for 1 year. And one of the most amazing things that has come out of it for me is the experience of working in team ministry. That's not an experience that I've had since I've been ordained. Actually, I've worked in solo ministry, and while I'm supported by, music teams and volunteers, I haven't actually worked with a paid accountable other minister of pastoral care or congregational support or development or a youth minister. In this setting that we're finding ourselves in now, this setting of doing everything online, there has been some gifts in that. And one of the gifts for me has been this opportunity to work with this wonderful team of United Church ministers. And I want to remind you who they are. We have Reverend Maya Landell from Islington United Church in Toronto. We have Reverend Anita Spiller-Walker, who is at Jordan Station United Church. And you might be wondering, who's Anita? Because we haven't seen her for a few months. She's been on sabbatical. She's returning to us this month, so you might see her around a little bit more. We have Mr. Michael Schuberg, who is the Executive Director at Five Oaks Education Center, as well as the minister at Richwood United Church. We have Pastor Don Young-Hill, who is the minister for South Cayuga Community Church. We have Reverend Susan Cole at Knox United Church in Embro. And last, we have Reverend Doug Peck, who is the minister at Kintore Brooksdale Pastoral Charge. And I can't say enough about this wonderful group of ministry colleagues who I've had the chance to share in so many things that you've been able to benefit from if you come to our services of worship. Christmas Eve, we shared a Christmas pageant. And then in January and February, we shared that guest preaching series. And then, of course, during the season of Lent, we shared in weekly communion services where we had, a different person lead each one of those throughout that season. But I want to give a shout out not just to those times when you've been able to see all of us working together, but the times when you haven't even known that we have been working together. Each week on Tuesdays, this group meets online. We do a Zoom session and we check in. How's everyone doing? What are your ideas for worship this coming Sunday? What are some big ideas about working together in the coming weeks? How can we support each other? What resources do we have to share? This has been a truly wonderful and amazing gift. And so if any of you from the United Church Ministers Group are watching, thank you so much. I appreciate everything and the gift of what has been given in this time that we have been working together over this last few months. I wonder, do you have a team this wonderful that you've worked with? I want to hear about your team, your partnership experiences. One of the things that I talked about on Sunday was the children's time that I love to do when we're talking about working in a team and how it's easier to be in partnership and share the load. And I always love to bring a basket of rocks, something that I like to pick the smallest person I can, somebody I think will have a hard time with holding out a basket of rocks. And I like to fill it with all the best ones and watch their face as they try and hold it up, and then I invite other people to start taking those rocks out and seeing the look of relief that comes over whoever's holding the original heavy basket of rocks as the load becomes lighter and lighter. And I think that can be the same for lots of things in life, right? When we share the load, no matter what that is, by talking to somebody, by offering to help somebody out in a variety of ways, the load becomes lighter. So what partnerships, what teams give you life? What ones do you think help further the mission work of God's church and do the work of being good stewards of God's creation? Let me know in the comment sections. Let me know if you want to send me a text or an email. I always love to hear from you. And wherever you are this day, I hope that you are safe. I hope that you are well. And may the 4th be with you. Talk to you soon, friends.